Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. If you've ever wondered what really separates people who just kind of show up from those who literally crush it every single time, we've got a fascinating framework to dive in today, the Triad of Achievement. Now, this isn't your standard run-of-the-mill, just work harder advice. Actually, it's pretty much the exact opposite. It's this wild, almost paradoxical blueprint for massive success. It starts off with a statement from our source text that sounds, well, almost too simple. 3 important things to be successful. But don't let the simplicity of that quote fool you. These 3 things, they require a deeply intense psychological balancing act. You're basically juggling mindsets that most people would consider to be complete opposites. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. We're going to cover 1, the Triad of Achievement, 2, the superiority complex, 3, the inferiority complex, 4, controlling impulses and emotions, and 5, the ultimate balance. Starting right off with part 1, the Triad of Achievement. So, this entire concept frames success as a mental tightrope. It literally demands that we embrace a paradox. We have to hold 2 completely conflicting views about ourselves at the exact same time. It's like looking in the mirror and believing 2 vastly different truths at once. Navigating those internal contradictions without snapping, that is the very engine driving high-level achievement. Moving on to part 2, the superiority complex. All right, this is our first pillar, and you absolutely cannot be timid here. You need to believe you are better than most. Why? Well, because you have superior capabilities that fundamentally separate you from the pack. It's this unshakable internal conviction that your unique skills put you on a completely different tier. It all boils down to one absolutely non-negotiable rule from the text. You must believe that you matter. Without this intense, deep-rooted sense of self-value, the rest of the framework just totally falls apart. You absolutely have to start from a place of supreme self-worth. Let's move to and see how this builds, because here's the crazy plot twist. You've got this towering superiority complex on one side, right? But you're simultaneously thrust into a psychological tug-of-war with your own profound human flaws. Which brings us to part 3, the inferiority complex. Now, to be clear, we aren't talking about a clinical diagnosis here. This isn't about self-loathing at all. Instead, think of it as a hyper-awareness of your own fallibility. It's that deep, grounding knowledge that, hey, you're human, and inevitably, you will fail and fall. You have to accept that you still have weakness in your mind. And the source frames this not as some fatal personal defect or an excuse to just give up, but as a mandatory reality check. It's specifically there to keep that shiny superiority complex we just talked about from turning into blind, destructive arrogance. I want you to really let the weight of this next statement sink in. You should believe that you are not enough to achieve your goal. You matter more than most, sure, but right now, you are not enough. Man, that is an incredibly heavy burden to carry. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the ultimate payoff of feeling that inadequacy. It's fear. But fear is actually the ultimate engine for continuous improvement here. Because you fear your own weakness and because you're terrified of failing, you constantly strive to push your baselines higher. This inferiority complex is literally the fuel that keeps you from stagnating. Shifting gears to part 4, controlling impulses and emotions. So if you've got extreme superiority pulling you up and extreme inferiority dragging you down, you desperately need a stabilizing force. Emotional control here isn't about being an unfeeling robot. It's the active mechanism of how you choose to respond to your emotions. It's the conscious steering wheel of your whole psychological state. Here are the specific actionable steps that bridge the gap between superiority and inferiority. Number 1, it's how you generally respond to your emotions. Number 2, it's the absolute necessity to maintain composure in intense, highly stressful situations. When the pressure is immense, you stay grounded. And number 3, you've got to be calmer when there is literally no need to react to trivial stuff. I mean, don't waste your precious emotional energy losing your cool over a delayed email, right? This emotional regulation is the glue that keeps the whole system intact. And that leads us perfectly into part 5, the ultimate balance. And this brilliantly illustrates how all these gears turn in unison to lock the triad together. For the superiority pillar, your mindset is a belief in your capabilities, which yields unshakable confidence. Then for the inferiority pillar, the mindset is a healthy fear of weakness, resulting in constantly higher standards. And finally, the emotional control pillar brings a mindset of pure composure, ensuring you achieve true stability. You absolutely need the confidence to start, the high standards to grow, and the stability to actually survive the journey. As we wrap things up here, think about this intense, delicate balance of confidence, humility, and control. Ask yourself, which piece of the triad are you missing? Are you leaning way too hard into superiority without a reality check? Or is the fear kind of crushing you right now because you lack the emotional composure to handle it? Understanding this framework is really your first big step to mastering your own potential. Keep finding that balance, and thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.